Tomorrow we're off on the first qualifier, well, silverfish qualifier of the season. We're heading over to Ivy House over in, where is it? Swindon Way, I believe. We're on the Old Match Lake and on Willow's Pool, neither of which I've ever fished, especially for silverfish matches. So I'm looking forward to it. Not really sure what I'm going to do, but I'm just tying up a couple of rigs. I've got some the new Guru silverfish floats there. They are Margaret Slims, nice fine cane bristle on them. They'll be really nice for fishing caster short. And then on my long lines, my old favourites, Mick Wilkinson F1 Margats, I think they are called, 1.2mm bristle, a nice like rounded body carbon stem. So I'm going to finish tying these up and I'll catch you on the bank when we get there. Right, so we've got 1 minute now before the off. And I don't really know what I'm going to do, to be honest. I'm going to feed some ground bait and casters in front of me, 30 metres, like really stodgy. Like that. Let's toss this off. So this is just going to be a line where I can keep dropping in. Don't need to feed it too often. And then I got another line off to my left, and I'm just going to feed a little ball of worms, some wet ground bait. I've never fished a silverfish match here before, so I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest. I'm just going to sort of play it as it goes and see what happens. But marble in there. And then short, I still want to feed some ground bait. I feed like 100mm ground bait short. With some casters in there. I can see already Carl's feeding much more negative than me. But I think we want to catch some skimmers, so feed that there. And then I've just got a little line just here. I'm just going to throw casters every now and then. I can just drop in there. So that is basically it. I've got Carl and Dick to my left. And then next one down is Paul Holland. So we've got a star-studded bank here. Not in too much of a mad rush to start. Just put a little back shot on here. Trimmer and a couple of back shot on then. Paul has started short, just up. And what's nice on this peg is I got 3 or 4 lines on the go, and they're all exactly the same depth. So I've only got 3 rigs up. Let's just start like that. Got just a bulking one to start with. A fish, just a little tiny piece of worm head on the hook. This is my like more positive rig, so I'll start on this, and then if there's a few little fish around, at least I can bomb through with this rig. Casters aren't the best, they're a bit old, but They'll do. I think you're going to need about £40, I reckon, to do well here today. Roach straight away. Nope. What's that? Skimmer. Should have swung that, but we'll net it just because it's the first one. I don't really know what the sort of stamp of fish is in here, but I think the skimmers are up to like £2. And I think on this lake you're fishing for skimmers more than you are roach. I think the other lake behind me, it's all roach fishing on there, but on here you need those skimmers to build the weight, because I think the roach are a bit small. Oh, little couple of bubbles up around the float then. Hopefully that's a skimmer. Oh, it was a nice bite. Oh, that was a skimmer. I reckon we foul-looked that then. It was a lovely bite too. I'm pretty sure that was a skimmer then. Of course, fizzing like mad there now. Loads of indications. I hope there's not a carp there. Come on. Good fish. Little tiny skimmer, look. Just going to pop a little pool pot on. Tiny little skimmers. Little skimmers. Swing him in. So what I've tried now is already, just after a couple of feeds, just feeding neat worms now. Because with our little mix I had a ground bait and bits and pieces, missing a million bites. That's not the right fish, that ain't. Little skimmers. Oh, little jumper. Oh, I better net him, hadn't I? What I'll have to do here is keep an eye on the bottom because it's so soft when it's plumbing up. They'll definitely start trying to dig it out. Pretty sure of that. Oh. Right, I'm going to keep plugging on for 20 minutes. 6-hour match, so let's keep an eye on these SIM cards. So I'm going to crack on for a little bit and then give it 20 minutes and then we'll report back on the half-hour stage, see how we get on. Right, we're bang on an hour in now and it's been alright. I had a nice little run just after I flicked the camera off. I had 2 or 3 of those better skimmers, like net skimmers out here. And then I was just thinking, this is too far to fish for these size skimmers. So I put a line in 11 metres, exactly the same, little bit of worm. I caught a little roach on this, came off, it dropped in that 11 metre line and I caught a little skimmer, then a big skimmer. Probably a big skimmer, say £1. And then I can't get a bite there again now. So I've just gone back on this and caught a roach, but I feel like that 11 metre line's too short and this one's too long. I should have gone in the middle, I should have gone 13 metres really, looking back. It's just a job to know. And it feels like you've got to be feeding these lines all the time. So you can't really have 2 lines on the go because you've got to keep plopping a little bit of bait in. So at the minute I don't really know what I'm doing. I thought when I caught those 2 drops 11 metres, I thought, oh, this will be the boy now, I can just keep, catch them there and catch them at 5 metres maybe, but
They're there, they're blowing like mad on it, just can't catch them. But they're fizzing anyway you put any bait, they're fizzing short and everything, but I don't know. I feel like by stopping feeding this now, I've lost them on this line as well now. Whereas I could have kept taking over and catching a few, but I was never catching 40 pound doing that, I don't think. Like, I can't even get a bite there now. I fed another 100mm ground bait on my short line as well. So I'll try and get some skimmers to gather up there really. I don't really want to catch roach if I can help it. So bite, look at that tiny little fish. Just all gone a little bit peatong all of a sudden now. But we've still got 5 hours to go, and we probably got 4 pound. So depending on how the other lake fish is, don't really know what's happening on there. But if you win with 35 pound today, you only want like 6 or 7 pound an hour. As if you're going to need 40 odd pound is the problem. Tiny, aren't they? Small one on. Worm's definitely best on the hook, like a good chunk of worm. And what's quite good is like a skinny worm, but quite a long piece. Seems to be the boy as well. But nobody's like emptying it. It's like, I feel like after an hour I'm definitely up there with Paul and Callum next to me. I feel like I'm catching a few more better fish than what Carl is next to me. I miss a bite like that. Miss a bite. That was fizzing his absolute nubs off before I hooked that. Foul up skimmer like. That's the problem with these little bottle top skimmers. They're not easy to catch. I'm just going to replumb that up again. Oh, that's a nice bite. Oh. Lunatic skimmer. Do I dare wine Carl up here? I think I might have to now. What's it like to draw on fish, Carl? What's it like to draw on fish? Huh? What's it like to draw on fish? Oh, I went off like a carp at it then. Definitely want to keep every sort of 40 minutes, 100 ground bait short. Because I feel like later on, there might be a chance of some big skimmers there. Let's just see whether catching 1 or 2 off each line is better, because I've had 2 decent ones out there now, and then you can't catch them again. And I'm just dinking a few casters on this line. Just to get something falling through the water a little bit. Nice chunky ones they are, aren't they? Just going to feed that ground bit again. Just like 100 mil. Just like that. You know, worms are too fat, Cal. Worms are too big. I know I have heard that a lot over the years, but... Cal? Need those medium-sized worms for this, don't you? You want them medium-sized worms for this. Paul's catching a few better fish down there on peg 11, but the word is that little bowl down there holds the better skimmers. So John Cook said, I don't know, I've never fished a match on here, so, but you know, this is all right. Just catch them a little bit quicker. There's plenty of those like chunkier ones mixed in. I don't mind them, 10-ounce ones. Maybe later on we'll get a rival somewhere of those slightly bigger ones. pound, 2 pounders. But it's just about trying to just work out the best way to do it. Like, even if we don't qualify today, when we come back in the future for more, at least we'll have half an idea of what we need to do. But what's nice today is it's 6 hours, so you can, because it's not fishing amazing, you can afford to lose a little bit of time sussing it out. Right, we're just over 2 hours in, and we've had a rubbish last, I'm going to say 20 minutes or so. Just little nuisance fish, but nobody's really been catching a lot. So I'm just going to, I've just fed like a golf ball of worms on each line now. And this is just my first little look on this short line. Just want to have a quick go. Just whilst those other lines are just settling up. There's been fish like blowing on this line, so I thought there'd be some there. Just need a little trimmer on there. Hoping this is where we're going to get a nice arrival of those better skimmers if I just keep potting that ground bit in there and throwing casters. I've had a little look on my right hand line where I fed that ground bit earlier, that ground bit and casters. I fed it again about 20 minutes ago, dropped in there and just caught an F1, so I thought that was a big skimmer, to be honest. So that's not ideal. So we'll just have just a minute or two here, see if I can get a bite. But it's fishing really hard. I think that even the lake behind me is fishing hard as well. Now the sun has come out. Let's put the kibosh on this a little bit. But still got 4 hours to go, so boatload of time. Let's try this. Let me meet the line again. I'm just going to keep, because he was quite good earlier, just thinking like just a few casters over there. What's going on there now? Bit of a run on this line now. Back on a piece of worm I was. I put a maggot on and got a tiny little roach. Right, so 2.5 hours in. I'm going to carry on for another little bit. If we start catching a few, I'll report back, but for now, we're just about hanging in there, but it is fishing tough, so. A couple of bites on this line now, though, look. Worms, it seems, though. The best of the minute, but there has been a lot of fish caught on maggots. So what I've been doing, I've just been putting a couple of live maggots in with my little mixture. Right, halfway through now, and I've just gone out where I fed that ground bit and been loose feeding those maggots long. Dropped in, caught a decent skimmer straight away, first drop in. Dropped in again, had a massive lift bite struck. Big skimmer came flying out the water, jumped off the hook. So I'm back on it again now. But the two fish I've hooked on this line have both been those good skimmers, like. And there's loads of indications and blow in there, but again, they're not easy to get on the hook for whatever reason. I had a couple more on that, on those worms, 11 metres. I had another little run on that, hand-sized ones. But I'm just kind of hoping there's be a few better skimmers settled up over this ground bit of maggots here. That's an indication then. Paul Holland started catching well down there now. But apart from that, it's not fishing on me this lake in anyway. I'm not sure about what's happening behind, but so I'll see if I can nick another fish on this line, and then I'm going to go back on those worms again. I'm hoping these stamp skimmers out there, we're going to catch them short as well. I've stopped throwing casters there now, I'm just throwing maggots. Still occasionally potting some ground bait on it. There we are. Another one of those decent skimmers, look. And that's like the size we had, and the one that jumped off is very similar as well. I just want to plumb that long line back up again. You know, we've still got 3 hours here. Right on. Just over 2 hours to go. I had another little run on this line, like 3 or 4 of those, you know, swinger size ones. I've gone back long. Missed like 2 or 3 bites and caught a chunky skimmer, and then caught a little F1, and I've just missed an odd bite then, so I've just come back here now. But it just seems like it's juddering to nothing. Paul is probably doing the best now, from what I can see. But I just don't know. There's fish in my peg, but you just can't seem to get a clean bite off anything here. Like you'll sit there, you'll have like a... The what? Oh no, what do you say? What do you say then? No, no. Nothing to get serious about, is there? I can't catch these skimmers, Carl. Yeah, so I've got them on my peg, but catching them is a different story. Still haven't been short, so I'm hoping there's going to be a fish or two lined up there for us. But I can't see where a good run's going to come from, because it just seems to be slowing up now to nothing. And you can't catch any quality anywhere. The lad to my right had like 2 good skimmers just out of the blue, 2 big uns. But apart from that, it's even like this line, when you drop back on it, it still takes a bit of time to get it going again. And then you have a little run of 3 or 4, and then it's gone again then. You've got to come off it, but you can't just drop back in on it, catch immediately. You've got to build it up again. I've kept feeding it little balls, but little balls of that worm, but I don't know. I do not know the answer yet. Decent skimmer. Oh, he's popped off. Oh. Huh? It's one of them ones that just does not fight. Can't keep attention on it. Useless skimmers. Can you believe that? That was one of those ones you all know is just going to pop off at some point. Well, that's not ideal, is it? There we go. Skimmer. Just going to feed another 100 mil to my right again. Just see if I can bounce off these 2 lines. I'll stop loose feeding maggots and I'll just pot in loose ground bait, I think. Come on! Have you got 30 pound, Carl? Have you got 30? 30? Have you? You must have, man. Change that over. Oh, there it is now. Just so I know how much I'm feeding. Just give him like 75 mil on that breakdown line. Just going to change my hook as well. Go. It's a nice bite. It's a cracking bite, that, like a carp bite. I fed 250 on that line about an hour ago. Just going to put a dead maggot on, I think.
So as you've seen, that was a proper tough match. In fact, the last hour, I never caught a skimmer. I don't think Callum to my left caught a skimmer either, and the chap to my right, he only hooked a few carp. For some reason, from 3:30 to 4:30, the whole lake just completely switched off, and I don't know why. I thought it would get better, especially on the like little short lines we put in. I thought we were going to have, at some point, a nice run of skimmers there, but it never happened. It just sort of ground out to nothing. We finished off with, what do we have? We had 15.5, which was third on our legs. We won some money, some of the Super Pool money, which was nice. I've had 15.5, there was a 17, and Paul Holland has absolutely blitzed the match, £27. Fair play to him. I know he's fished worms all day, and to be fair to Callum, that's what he told me to do. Callum next door, we had a good match between us. I just pipped him by an ounce, which is basically nothing. It's just a call of the scales, could go either way, couldn't it? So we've caught pretty much the same. He's gone down the out-and-out worm route, whereas I've caught on worms early, but by feeding that loose ground bait and fishing mags over it, we did catch a few, and everybody else seems to stop. I think if I went back there again and fished like how we do at Moorlands with pinkies and loose ground bait and stodgy ground bait, I think we could have caught perhaps 20 odd pound, but we weren't going to push Paul. Paul was out and out on his own on the day. So first silverfish match of the year, wasn't bad. I did still quite enjoy it, but we've got plenty more planned now. So the next one is going to be on Viaduct, and then we are on my local White Springs the week after that. So I'm proper looking forward to that. I might even go down and have a little practice session. I might even film like how to practice properly. So I hope you enjoyed that. A third place isn't a disaster. Obviously you need to win to qualify, but if we can just keep knocking the door, keep consistent, I'm sure our chance will come and we'll qualify. So I'll catch up with you on the next silverfish match, which is going to be in 2 weeks' time at Viaduct. Can't wait for that one.